Is it going to work? It's not working. Ah, come on. I have a jingle. I wanted to play a new one, and it didn't work. Oh, well. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's Sean Shapiro, and this is Ask a Traffic Cop. I will have to release the magic. Yes, the magic later. I had Suno create a song. I haven't done that in a while. Let's move me into the middle. Now my microphone just comes in from outer space because of the green screen. I don't know what's better, side to side. I've been hiding in the corner, so it looks like I'm like more natural. But what can I do? Well, then you know what? Then I can put the logo up. Yeah, maybe we'll stay to the side. We'll see how it plays out. Hope you're having an amazing. Oh, this didn't work. Okay. Go live on Instagram. Hope you are having an amazing Wednesday. It's kind of doom and gloom gray outside, isn't it? Yeah, I didn't plan it that way. I wanted it to be a magical, fantastical Wednesday, bright and sunny with no rain and puddles. But I even put a raincoat on this morning, so things are melting. Things are, they're March things. What's going on with you today? A couple of things in terms of the show. First off, we're going to do Q&A like we always do. That's because I'm a former police officer who talks about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff, and I'm here to answer your traffic and police questions. That's kind of my thing. It's what I want to do for you, is help you be safer, help you know stuff before you do stuff so you don't get charged with stuff. Those are all things that I'm into. But I'm also into reviewing some dash cam footage. So I've got some videos all set up to play, and I'm looking to see what you think of them. I'm going to share them. We'll talk about them. Yeah. We'll go from there. You may notice there's some changes to the background wall. Not only are we supported by the fantastic folks at Barrett Legal, but Diamond and Diamond is now also a sponsor. Diamond and Diamond is the largest personal injury firm in Canada. So if you need stuff from them, they're good people. Now, let's get back into what we really talk about, which is stuff and things. So just a couple of hellos to start with. Randy says, Randy McNaught, let's see here. What's he saying? Morning, Sir Sean. Yes, I gladly accept your birthday wishes to me today. 73 and 23 years retired. 73. You got lots of time on. 23 years retired is impressive, though. Not the record. I met a deputy chief last year, retired at the time, had been retired 32 years. That's not a bad way to live. Yeah, I gotta give him props, and you too. It's the way to do it. So, how do you fill your days as a retired guy? I want to know. Are you bored? Do you find that you're busier now? Because I find I'm busier now. I am. It's just a thing. Okay, Constable Stafford, good day. Ginger's Nan, then we got Musa, that guy, and Andrew Bowers. Kirk, no, it's Kerfricon, I think. Barnwoods, and Constable Stafford says, good morning. Good morning to you, too. Yona Bud, good morning. How you doing? Sarah says hello and wanted to know where I was serving. I was serving with the Toronto Police Service. I joined in 2000, and then I started as an auxiliary, then became a court officer, a court supervisor, auxiliary sergeant, and then became a police constable. So I did all sorts of stuff and things in my nearly 25 years with the Toronto Police Service. Good morning from, what is it? Miv. Let's see here. YouTube, coming in from YouTube, Miv. Let's see here. We've got, let's just, I'm so excited about the things. So first of all, this isn't going to work. Is it going to work? Maybe I can Bluetooth. I want to play for you a song, and it's way too much fun. But do we do it through a Bluetooth link? Can I get this to work properly? Maybe. Stand by for 1 second. And hopefully I don't break anything. Bluetooth. It's never like doing things live, but I'm really excited to play this, and I don't want to just hold the phone up to the microphone. Bluetooth. Let's see if I can connect to it, because this thing has a Bluetooth that I never really use. So I haven't even connected. Roadcaster. Let's see if I can connect. Get connected. Okay, I had way too much fun making it. Home. Press the Bluetooth. No, I don't want that. All the buttons. Come on. If I press play, what happens? Well, now nothing happens. Jeez. It's thinking about it. Oh, here we go. It's working. Did you ever think this would be a country jingle?
Hey, hey, it's Shapiro, here we go. Knows the road rules better than most folks know. Ask your questions, bring the heat or keep it chill. He's got the answers and a license to spill. Ask a traffic cop, Sean's your guy. Breaking it down, no lie, no tie. Knows the stuff and things to keep you clear. Ask away, he's the voice you wanna hear. Former badge, now a podcast star. Navigating traffic laws near and far. Stop sign confusions or signal light feud. Sean's the one to give you the right attitude. Ask a traffic cop, Sean's your guy. Breaking it down, no lie, no tie. Knows the stuff and things to keep you clear. Ask away, he's the voice you wanna hear.
Okay, pausing that because it can go on forever. I had way too, I can't even take credit. I punched in a couple of things into chat. Well, it wasn't chat GPT. It was Suno, which I was using a lot and then took a break from, and now I'm back to playing with Song Generation. Raul is sending me all sorts of flowers and ice creams and things. Thank you so much. Gifts are appreciated, but not necessary. But I it's lovely of you to do that. Bernhard sending dad jokes. If you got dad jokes for later, please share them. I love the dad jokes. We let's see here. Copy that. I'll put it into the later category. So yeah, if you got stuff, share it. And Brandon, who's on screen right now, says, "Good morning, Sean, and to all from Scotland. Let's have a positive day. Positive, safe day. You all rock." Now, Scotland's awesome. I was there last year. Yeah, I think I was there in 2024. What an amazing! But look out for the midges. Is it midge season? Midges are no fun. You open your mouth, you'll be eating them. So that's a thing. Midges are like tiny little aphid-like things, but I don't know. Do they bite? Do they not bite? Either way, have fun in Scotland. Stay safe out there. LJ says, "Awesome song. Love that it's country." I didn't even choose country. I just said, "Make me a funny intro," and gave it a couple of keywords, and there it went. Let's see here. We got creator Steve jumped in. Stafford loves the song. I really had fun. It was like press go and see what happens. Yeah. Maybe we'll play some music while we're looking at some of the videos, which we may just jump into if we don't have a ton of questions. Questions are great. And I realized something as I was chatting about this last night with Dale, is that if everyone has asked every question and our audience is primarily people who know all the answers through watching the show every day, what we really need are some new listeners to bring some questions. Now, I love the old listeners, but if I had new listeners, well, they bring new questions because they wouldn't know the stuff that my learned audience knows. So what is the solution? Well, share the live. If you like, subscribe, and share the live, more people will know what we're doing, and that will result in more new questions. And it's always interesting to see what folks who don't know the rules, well, what they think. I think that's a thing. Okay, let me go into the other account so I can actually moderate myself if need be. You know, comes in handy to be able to kick people out. That's the one thing that with this interface I don't have the way I used to. All right, yeah. So if you're watching on TikTok, please hit the likes, tap the screen so your fingers go numb. It really helps bring more people to the party, and there are people in the party, so I appreciate y'all. Let's see what we got. What we got here. All right. Okay, let's just break into it. I think we should do that. Let me take this picture off. I'm going to play it's a short clip. I won't say anything about it. We play music in the background while we do it. Now, let's just go to the video. What do you think about this? Now, this is the Don Valley Parkway heading southbound. I think I was on the way. No, it wasn't on the way to the auto show. I was on the way to something. What do you think of that? Comments. Let me hear from you. I'm excited to know what you think is going on there. I can just let it loop while we talk about it. So DVP, that is a bus lane of sorts. What's wrong with this video? Yeah, take your time, jump in, throw in your opinions, your thoughts, your comments. I'd love to know. But obviously, I had to take the audio out because I was swearing a lot. It's just like, whoa, what the heck? Because obviously, I think there's an issue. Now, what I don't have here is a clear video image of the sign. There's a sign, and what does the sign say? If you haven't already voted, the deal is that this is for Go Transit buses. It's not a bus lane for all bus drivers. It's a bus lane for the fine folks at the Go Transit, and of course, police and emergency vehicles. But that goes without saying. That is a school bus, unless it's under contract by Go. It shouldn't be there. Just saying. It's they make up their own rules. Oh yes, guests coming onto the show discussing different topics, and Sergeant Campbell, of course, you should come back. Yeah, I want to do that, and I should do that. I got to give him a call. Is he? I guess he's not still on vacation at the cottage or the snowmobiling business. And Jay on TikTok says that's not a city bus. No kidding. That is definitely not a city bus. I mean, it's the potential of it being under contract is there, but it's a very slim chance. Okay. We've got a question from Robbie. Hey, I have a question. I'm a volunteer firefighter. Can I use my radio en route to a scene? So you are an emergency services person at that point. There is an exemption for those who are engaged in work as a firefighter, as a ambulance operator. Now, generally speaking, the wording is that you're operating a vehicle for that purpose, like one that's owned by the city. But you are green light enabled. You're allowed to have a green light. Most people don't know unless they live outside of the center of the city, where the cities don't have the green light, folks. But yeah, green light is for volunteer medics and volunteer firefighters. I didn't know it was for medics. It may have been an amendment in the last 5-10 years, but definitely volunteer firefighters have been around since day one. I think maybe day one's an exaggeration. Anyway, it is a courtesy light to say, get out of the way. They're on their way to go save the day in their own special way. And obviously you'd be entitled to use your two-way radio. You know who else can use a two-way radio? Ham operators, amateur radio persons, of whom I will be soon. I say soon, I haven't even started the course. For 25 or 30 years now, I've been talking about getting my amateur radio license. So I'm actually going to do it now that I have more time, that I'm more flexible, and I'm putting together a group of people who want to do it. So I've got 5 folks now that want to take the course. Are you interested in taking the ham course? We're going to do it, I think, with the either the Barrie, the Toronto, or the Richmond Hill Club, depending on who's running a course first. So it's going to be out here. Might be online. Let me know. But yeah, I'm going to have ham. Maybe we do this show simulcast on ham. That's probably not a good idea. Okay. Rahul, let's see here, is it legal to add a front bumper guard to my Toyota? Those mean looking ones. So we're talking about push or brush bars. So it depends on what it is. Generally speaking, yes, it is legal to add brush bars. They're mostly for looks. Most of them are crush compatible. The ones that are on police vehicles are to the frame, and they change the dynamics of a collision, which can be problematic because if you're involved in a serious collision and it doesn't absorb or it transfers all the shock into the frame, you might be more injured and it may do more damage to somebody else. So there's questions as to whether those are legal for use outside of emergency vehicles or if they will change your claim status. In any case, brush bars, the ones that collapse or have breakaway points, absolutely those are okay. And if it's just to look mean, then that's great. But if you look at like Australia, they have full on not chainmail, but chain fence over their windshields. They have them all over the vehicle because when they're driving through the outback, big red kangaroos will jump up on their tail. Is it rearing up on that tail? Anyway, they'll stand on their tails and put both feet forward and they kill people. They drive their feet right into the windshields and people will go bye-bye. Okay, here's another video. Wait. Before we do the next video. Why does it say that you commented on my live when you haven't been in my live 2 years? What? I don't know. I'm not sure who you are. I'm not sure if that's just spam. But I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Either way, I'm glad that you're here. My name is Sean Shapiro. Did you know that? I know it says so on the screen, but if you didn't know who I was, my name is Sean Shapiro, and I'm a former police officer who talks about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. And if you are watching for the first time, please follow, and share, because not only am I here to help you, I'm here to help others too. So if you let them know that I'm here talking about stuff and things, they might join the party. PR Jenkins 77 says, just want to wish you a good day. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good days are good. And today's gloomy, but still a magical day. Any day we're upright is pretty good. Okay. MTH says, hi, sir. You're always an inspiration and save people from tickets. But what I really want to do is keep people safe. And the stuff that tends to draw the attention of police and lead to tickets are the unsafe stuff. So if you're avoiding tickets by being safe, we're doing a double service. You're avoiding those tickets, and you are also making the road safer. So my real goal is safety, and in doing so, if you save money, that's a bonus. Absolutely. We got Aaron. Oh, Aaron should guest, and I spoke to Aaron about guesting, and she's all for it. That's Justin who wants to Nakatsuka. I want to pronounce your name properly, and I'm not sure I'm doing that. Tracy says hi, Tracy. Good to see you. A reminder to anyone who has a magical dad joke. That's what I was looking for. Dad joke. I had that momentary lapse where I'm like, what am I asking for? If you got dad jokes, share them. Let's see here. Because we will go over them at the end of the show. Rylan says, whoa, Sean isn't a cop anymore. No, I left the police service at the end of August was my last day. And I miss it, but I'm off doing bigger and better things in that I'm trying to help more people. We want to take the show North America wide. We're talking to police services and different sponsors to try and fund the expansion because we want to be able to host regular shows, but one's in Florida, one's in, Utah, like wherever people drive, we should have people in uniforms here to answer. And the goal is to have police officers answering questions for their jurisdictions. I'm not planning to look and to learn everything about every jurisdiction. I know stuff about Ontario, but there are people who know more stuff than me. And if they're around and they want to share, I want to bring them on the show. Okay. And Justin said I got the pronunciation, I think. Okay. Which is good because I go to drive. Funny story about drive-thrus, which I've been talking about lately. So I go through and I order my Tim Hortons while I'm in the car. I'm in the car in the drive-thru. It's a big line. I put the order through, so when I get to the front, I don't have to think about what I want. I just mobile order. And they go, I said mobile order for Sean, and they go, Sean? I go, yeah, Sean. And they say Sean. I go, yeah, Sean. We don't have an order for Sean. What's the number? 9021. Oh, scene. No, it's Sean. So this drives me bananas because I think that Sean, S-E-A-N, the proper way of spelling Sean, like the Sean Connery way of spelling Sean, it should be easy to remember. But anyway, so when someone mispronounces it, I mean, I'm used to it. I answer to scene because I get it. They don't get it. And I get that they don't get it. But it still bugs me. So I do my best to pronounce your names properly. All right. Rylan says, so now I can spill the tea on all the tricks not to get in trouble. Well, the tips were the same when I was a cop. If you don't break the law, you don't get in trouble. It's a simple one. Nolan Richard followed. Thanks very much. Okay. Paul Silla or Sia? I want to know which one it is. Paul says, I have a 64 Honda. Didn't come with belts nor reverse lights. Was options in 64. Will I get ticketed? So if you've got a 64 Honda, which now I'm really curious what that looks like. If it was factory and legal for the road, then it's factory and legal for the road. Now it's grandfathered, so you don't have to change it. Although if you want to update it, you're perfectly within your rights, and it would be nice to have belts. I think adding belts is safe. I've driven vehicles with no belts. We have a 57 Chevy. I don't think belts became legal until 73 or 74, like a legal requirement. So if you want to watch, if you want to have seatbelts, which I think are a great way to save your life and prevent ejection in the event of a collision, then add them. You could probably add them without damaging the vehicle. In any case, I get it. It's a magical, intro. What am I saying? Intro. A magical way to have a classic car on the road, and people want to keep them original. Somebody wrote "Cry Baby." That's Angel Mercer, who I don't understand what he's talking about. Okay. Gotta scroll back to see if there was a message. Joe messaged and said, Joe is 62 years old, retired September 30th, 2024 from my TSV. Oh, it's the Joe that I know. Well, of course, if you were there in September 30th, 2024, then I know Joe. How you doing, Joe? Congratulations on your retirement. Let's see here. We got scrolling back. how many tickets OPP can give? Like, how many tickets can they give? As many as there are tickets to write. Like, if you have 50 violations, they could do 50 tickets. There's no limit. Let's see here. SK1GH says, I see a lot of people turn right on red at an intersection. Is that right? Oh, what a fantastic question, SK1GH. Turning right on red at an intersection. I have a video on this very topic. Let's have a look at it. I think it's got a little lead up, so let's. I'll start it. Here we go. So here is a country road. Where was I? I don't recall. However, I was off the 400, and yeah. Do you see what I see? A right on red. It's perfect timing that you ask about this because, yeah, rights on reds, under certain conditions are legal. Did you see what I saw? Did you? Yeah. Let's. I have it loop back and zoom in for anyone who has questions. Yeah. Oh, Herb doesn't. Herb doesn't like me. Apparently, that's okay, Herb. You don't have to like me, but don't spam the chat, or you'll go bye bye. Anyway, so yeah, the deal was that they didn't stop, and you have to stop before making a right turn on a red. It's just the law. That's all. I clip these things because I think one day, like I hit the button and it starts the recording or keeps the recording so I can access it again. But it is one of those things where, oh, here we go. Here's Herb. Thanks, Herb. Herb is muted. Fantastic. Okay, so bye, Herb. Yeah, so I love these little clips because they're great conversation starters later. And I do some speaking events for different companies, and I also talk to chicks. No, I talk to kids, children and kids became chicks. It was weird. Anyway, when you combine words, when you're also planning other things. Dave says, good morning, Sean. What about two-way radios or CBs in regards to hands-free law? Could I be ticketed for using a radio or CB? Yes, you could, depending on what you're engaged in. So the current exemptions are specific to, let's see here. We've got delivery drivers, taxi cabs, truck drivers. There are exemptions under the HTA, which I can pull up. Let's have a quick look here. And while I'm doing that, just a reminder to anyone who doesn't know who I am, my name is Sean Shapiro. I'm a former police officer. I talk about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. And I answer questions live on the internet. I try and do it 3 times a week, 10 a.m. Monday, 10 a.m. Wednesday, and 10 a.m. on Fridays. I am experimenting with later times, or if I have to change my schedule. For instance, Monday it was at 4:30 p.m., and that was interesting. Yeah. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the exemption list. Hang on one second. HTA handheld exemption regulation. Me Googling stuff. It's a page that I regularly visit because I like to read and ensure that I've got it all down pat. So let's have a look here. So under Ontario Regulation 36609, display screens and handheld devices. And there you've got definitions of what is what. And I won't read all of them. You're welcome to go into the, I can actually send you. I'll put it on screen. That's what we'll do. I love that you can cut and paste on a Mac and an iPhone. I say that and then it doesn't work. Come on. Copy. Paste. And of course, normally when things work properly, you can cut and paste between. That would make life easy. But we're just going to ignore that. I tried to share some knowledge that then failed miserably. Okay. Exemption for other enforcement officers, exemption for public functions, people who are employed by public utility within the meaning of commercial activities. So drivers of motor vehicles clearly identified as couriers can use two-way radios. Drivers of roadside assistance service vehicles, drivers of taxi cabs and limousines licensed by a municipality or airport authority to provide passenger service, so you do not have Uber ability to use two-way radios. Boom, boom, boom. What else is there? Handheld devices for law enforcement officers. Yes, we're familiar with those. Other enforcement officers, yes. Other public functions, public utility, persons contracted, got that. Okay, here's commercial activities. Drivers of motor vehicles clearly identified as courier delivery vehicles, drivers of roadside assistance, drivers of taxi cabs and limousines licensed by municipality, drivers of streetcars, drivers of road building machines, over-dimensional vehicle escorts. Those are the wide load people. They can use them. And then there's the amateur radio license, and then there's exemption for pressing buttons. There's no specific for CB radio, so unless you're a courier, and I don't think anyone's using CB. But if you, for instance, had a push-to-talk and a speaker system with a wearable microphone, and you weren't holding the walkie-talkie, that would be fine. You're allowed. So the exemption that I think is interesting is it says exemption for pressing buttons. 14 sub 1 says a person may drive a motor vehicle on a highway while pressing a button on a handheld wireless communication device to make, answer, or end a cell phone call, or transmit or receive voice communication on a two-way radio if the device is placed securely or mounted in the motor vehicle so that it does not move while the vehicle is in motion, and the driver can see it with a quick glance and easily reach it without adjusting his or her driving position. A person may drive a motor vehicle on a highway while pressing the button on a device that is worn on his head, earpiece, or hung over or placed inside in his ear, or is attached to his or her clothing and is linked to a handheld wireless communication device to make, answer, or end phone calls, or transmit or receive voice communication on a two-way radio. So I guess if you put your walkie-talkie, your handheld PTT on your, like clipped it to your lapel and all you were doing was pressing the button, that would be legal for CB or two-way radio, as long as the radio itself is mounted, whether that's a handheld unit or a properly mounted unit. And I think that's enough talk about two-way radios for those who don't care, because I'm interested in this stuff, but most others aren't. Let's keep going with, Richard. What's going on? Richard says, good morning. And if you're wondering, how does Richard end up on my screen? Well, Richard is coming through on X, and X is linked to Restream's ability to grab the comments. TikTok used to do that, isn't doing that right now. Hopefully we'll get that functionality back. Just saying. Let's see here. Oh, Randy, so I asked Randy what he was doing in his retirement. He said he drove special needs students to and from school for 18 years, then contract driving at MG at General Dynamics. Okay. I don't know what driving MG, that might have been a typo, or maybe it's an acronym I'm not familiar with. Either way, Chase, a different Chase, has shared a dad joke for later. And Richard says, right turn yield instead of stop on red. It is a violation. That was for the video where the person failed to stop for the red light. And that is not a good thing for people to do. Wayne C says, morning, Sean. Morning, Wayne. How you doing? Okay, we got other videos that I'll show in a second. What do you think? Rather than doing all the videos at once, spreading them out through the show, I think is the way to do it. We have more. They're all from my dash cam. At least these are. If you have dash cam footage you think I should see, you can always email them to me. Voiceovercop@gmail will get to me. And Paul says pronounce L. So Paul Silla. Okay, I was trying to figure out if it was Paul Sia, because LL in some languages makes a yes sound, but it's pronounced L. So Paul Silla it is. Thank you for that. And for anyone wondering why I'm talking about something that happened 5 minutes ago, is because I'm reading things as they go, and I don't get your response instantly because I'm going through a list. Okay. Now I want to see your 64 Honda. Send me a picture of your 64 Honda or a link to your social media if you have it. I want to see your 64 Honda. Okay. I like cars, and I cannot lie. I see a lot. We talked about that one. Boom. MTH says, if a Ram truck is ditched on the turn of it, what is it? A Ram truck is ditched on the turn of entering of highway without hitting anyone or property, how many tickets can you lost control. So you lost control while entering the truck. So you could get careless driving. You could, if there was mechanical issues, if there's damage to roadway, you caused any damage, potentially there's you're going to be responsible for it anyway. They'll charge you for everything. But generally speaking, without knowing how you ended up, the careless driving charge is likely going to be the only charge. Could they find other things? I'm sure they could, but generally speaking, it's not to try and give you 100 tickets because you had an oopsie-doo. And they can't tell you speed necessarily unless they were to estimate speed based on a recon, which is unlikely. They wouldn't use that for enforcement. It's just to draw the story of what actually happened. I don't think anyone's ever been charged for speeding due to, drag testing, but it does explain what happened. Okay. Ryland says you should be an advocate and help people fight traffic tickets now. Ryland, the story is I used to give the tickets, and I'm about traffic safety, so I don't want people to get out of the responsibility. I want people to change their behavior so they avoid the tickets. It's not about getting out of it when you got caught doing something dumb. It's to avoid getting the ticket by changing your driving behavior. People have asked me to help them with tickets, and I'm like, if you have a legitimate defense, cool. But if you did what you did and you got caught, then you should take responsibility. Thin White Line Interceptor, who is Ryan, says, it's out of control. Right turns on red is a new norm. Running the red on right. It's horrible, Ryan. I see it constantly. And I got to get maybe a higher quality dash cam. Mine's a $500 camera, and I think I need a $1,000 camera with AI. I need something that's going to get the license plates, because I'd love to post them all for everyone. Everything I see, I want to post. That's what I want to do. Working Man says, DJ, next Monday is Diarrhea Awareness Week, runs till Friday. That's great. That is a dad joke, and I saw DJ and I didn't clue into the dad joke thing, so let me copy and paste that, because maybe there'll be somebody who hadn't heard that until the end. But I'm gonna absolutely use that in my repertoire of jokes. Okay. Honda Miggs says, what are the precursor to getting your plates pulled in Ontario? For what reasons can we pull plates? There's so many unsafe motor vehicles, the standard, the basic. Actually, I'm going to say that most often it's that, or use plates unassigned, or not for that vehicle. Like there's the concept of stopping you from perpetrating. Like if it's stolen plates, obviously we're going to pull the plates, but more often than not, it's going to be unsafe motor vehicle, where you want to prevent that vehicle from being. Now, the plates don't belong to you; they belong to the Ministry of Transportation, and they'll be returned to the Ministry of Transportation. I wonder what other reasons. Because I'm not a big plate puller, unless it was unsafe, I don't have a list of them. Now, when I look up the charge that I'm looking at, if there was a indicator that I could pull the plates, well, or that I should, then I would. But sadly, Honda, I don't have a list of all of them. It would be incomplete, because, it's a short list for me. Dennis, thanks for the follow. Ryland, thanks for the follow. And Tracy is singing Country Road. Okay. Working Man 515 says they didn't stop. So we're still talking about that video where they made the right turn without stopping. Yes, absolutely, they did not stop. And David says they made a right turn on red without stopping. Kind of dangerous and illegal. It's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't understand. It takes very little to just follow the basic laws, and yet people break the simplest ones, like stop signs, all the time, because we're in such a rush. I don't get it. Are there medical reasons for certain tint? In some jurisdictions, yes. Not in Ontario. There's no medical exemption in the province of Ontario. So if you are someone who has some issues with light sensitivity, sunglasses, visors, hats, minimal tint you can have in certain things, but nothing on the windshield. There's nothing extra. Smurf GT says, I've heard no plates, no case. Can you explain that? That the statement suggests if you ride no plates, that there's no way of tracking you down. Oddly enough, it makes the investigation more difficult. If you fail to stop and you are running from the police and they can't identify you, sometimes you get away and you get away. Oddly enough, I have a video on that topic. Let's look at this. Which video is it? Is it this one? No, it's this one. Here we go. What do you think of this? We'll just, here we go. Tell me what you think. Tell me when you see it, and then tell me what you think. Did you see it? It was a blip. Now, this is zoomed in and very jumpy. I don't know if I did that when I was editing it or not. So we have a motorcycle. But what do you notice about that motorcycle? Aside from the fact, well, I'll let you tell me. What do you think? It's all about, I'm pretty sure it's got no plates. Would it be a case? Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I'll let it go one more time just to give you time in case you're just raring to go with a what's wrong with this picture, and then I'll let you in on the answer in the event that you don't have a vote. Okay, so first off, they're passing all the traffic in in a left or a left turn lane. but they're passing traffic. I guess that's the multi-use lane. That's not yet the left turn lane. It will become the left turn lane at some point, but they're just passing vehicles. There's no headlight on that vehicle, so that's a dirt bike. It's an off-road only, not legal for the road motorcycle. So that's also a no insurance, no license plate, possibly a no driver's license situation. I think that is an awesome example of a dum-dum on the road who needs to be yanked off the road, to be charged with a fine for drive no insurance, which is $5,000 to $25,000 on the first conviction. I would throw the book at this person. And then there's the off-road stuff, yeah, I'd go bananas. And Richard was on the money. He said, looks like an off-road only dirt bike. It was. I wonder if we could have gone for well, I said in my own vehicle, I'm not, and no longer a police officer, I'm not pulling anybody over, but it's just, it drives me crazy when I see this stuff. And lane splitting. Is it lane splitting on the left? No mirrors, the bike isn't safe, have safety, so no plates. Yeah, for sure. Johnny says no plates, first thing I noticed. Yeah, to me, this is silly. Like, how badly do you have to go get a coffee at Timmy's that you got to break several laws on the way? It's a no good. Let's see here. LJ says, if traffic is stopped for a collision, is it okay to drive over a grassy area to get to another street or road? Technically speaking, no. You can't break one set of rules to make it possible to go somewhere else. Technically, the road should be closed. It's unsafe if they're blocking the roadway. Could you go into oncoming traffic? It would likely, well, it's more legal than going on someone's grass, because now you're damaging property, whether it's city or privately owned. So yeah, or turn around and go a different route. But it all depends. Are police there directing you there? If the police are directing you that way, it's another story. But it's unlikely that we would take you to take someone's lawn as the most direct route. But yeah, just because it's blocked doesn't make it legal to do other things. But I think it's a great question. Thank you for asking it. Now, Wayne says, hard to say if this guy could be caught. That is the issue with motorcycles, isn't it? Because folks take to running away. And the problem is they tend to run away and lose all sense of reality, and then lose control and get seriously hurt. And then the police are suddenly being investigated for being the catalyst of trying to hold this person accountable. Like, I like the U.S. in this particular regard. I like Georgia State Troopers, where they just run them down, run them over, back up to make sure they ran them over properly, and then arrest them. Because if you're going to do stupid stuff on the road, you deserve to be in jail. If you are going to break the law to that level and then run away and put lives at risk, you need to be incarcerated. I don't know if the flogging is required, but maybe for good measure. But we have to teach some people some lessons to change behavior, because someone who's going to put lives at risk like this has no business being on the road ever. Like lifetime ban, put them in jail. I don't need to see them again. I know I'm being extreme. I'm trying to get a rise out of you, but I don't know how we stop this. So many people on motorcycles buy them and just run them no plates, whether it's a street bike or not. They're running them no plates, no license, no insurance. When they hurt someone, they figure, I'll be dead anyway, so what does it matter? And they have no intention of taking responsibility for themselves for what they do. So that's a real pet peeve for me. Real pet peeve. Do we have any police officers who use motorcycles in the GTA? Absolutely, Jimmy. I was one of those motorcycle officers with the Toronto Police Motor Squad unit. Is it just Motor Squad? Motor Squad unit is redundant. It's not the unit. It's Toronto Police Traffic Services unit, and the Motor Squad is a subunit, and I was a member of it. So we have 40-ish motorcycles currently attached to that unit. York Regional Police, Peel Regional Police, OPP, all have motorcycle units. I'm sure most police services do. Some smaller units, it's expensive and to do the training, and they don't use them sufficiently. But in a city like Toronto, where dignitary escorts, or the escorts and that are conducted in the protection of internationally protected persons, motorcycles are the best way to do it. Nothing moves around a city faster. And if you look at places like Daytona, Florida, they have fire and police, first responders who use motorcycle, because you can't get anywhere faster. And I don't mean because you're doing high speeds. I mean because you're using the sidewalk, you're using, going between traffic and lane splitting. And as a police officer or an emergency services vehicle, getting through the small spaces in places like Daytona, where it's bumper to bumper, people driving in circles, trying to show off their cars and look for a date. That's a really good use of a motorcycle. It's awesome. Awesomeness personified. Ginger's Nan says, in Ontario, do you have to have plates on both front and back? If not, which front or back? Ginger's Den, the answer is you must, in Ontario, have front and back plates, except for motorcycles, which only require a rear plate. But you're issued 2 plates when you buy or register a vehicle. You must have both plates active on the vehicle in order to operate on the road. And Sandra says, hey, how you doing? I hope everything is good. How is the family? Please. And it got cut off. But things are good. Family's good. Just running at a different pace. It is nice to be home for the family, and that's the reason I left the service. But it is a very different world when you don't drive 3 hours a day commuting to work. For that alone, leaving was good. But I missed the job horribly. I missed my friends and my Blue family all the time, which is one of the reasons I went and spent a week and a half at the auto show helping them out with with their booth. And in fact, yesterday I was just helping them out with some other stuff because I do some stuff that they don't do, and it helps to be helpful with stuff. I used to volunteer for the service, so now I'm doing some volunteering on the back end, helping them out with other stuff. But I'll forever be Toronto Police. It's part of my life, and going out for dinner and breakfast and stuff is still something I can do. Anyway, we talked about this. We talked about that. Are tire chains allowed on streets when it snows? Tire chains, Adam? Tire chains are not legal, never legal. I mean, obviously, if you're stuck in a ditch and people will apply them just to get out of a ditch, you're getting out of a ditch. But driving on the roadway with tire chains is not lawful. If you're not even allowed to have studded tires in the province of Ontario, other than if you are registered in Northern Ontario, which has a number of places that are classified. Nipissing is one of them. I can't remember the entire list off the top of my head, but I usually have it as a drop down. It's not currently configured for that. So, the deal is that it's not lawful to use chains. That's it. Okay. We've got a question about radar detectors. Are they legal? We'll talk about it in just one sec. But I want to remind anyone who's watching who doesn't know who I am that my name is Sean Shapiro. I know it says it on the screen, but let's talk about this. It is my name. I'm a former police officer, and I talk about traffic safety, traffic law, and police stuff. And my goal is to help you and anyone else who wants to know stuff and things about Ontario law or traffic safety in general. So if you've got questions, I've got answers, feel free to ask, and we will answer them while we're here doing the stuff and things. I'm here for another 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll keep going right until the end. I have some more videos to share with you, which are dash cam videos I took with my dash cam. I guess it's always being taken. I just pressed record and downloaded them. But I think they're great conversations. Great conversations indeed. Jimmy says, I wish that... I'll try pressing that one more time. I wish the police would enforce more... what is it? I really wish the police would enforce the use of snow tires. So many people don't have snow tires. Well, it's not a police thing because it's not a law thing. So in the province of Ontario, it's not legally required to have snow tires, although I think everyone should have them because it's a better way to go. Tires are a really important safety tool. And just having tires with tread doesn't make them good for all conditions. All seasons are really 3 seasons. All weather are 4 seasons, but the ideal winter tire is a winter tire, not a snow tire, a winter tire. All terrain are good for some things, but at the end of the day, winter tires that are purpose built for the cold temperatures, that's anything under 7 degrees Celsius, are really better for safety. They stick to the road, they remain soft and pliable, and are going to give you the best chance of safety from a tire perspective. And people say, "Well, it's just tires." I've been driving for 100 years with all seasons, and it's not a big deal. I've been fine. You may have been fine, and your car from 1951 is great. The truth is that while you have avoided collisions and avoided issues, doesn't mean everybody else is driving with your skill and ability. And the truth is that everyone would do better, even you who's a skilled driver, if you had better equipment. And the better equipment is snow tires. Jimmy, I think that we should have them like Quebec. Quebec has mandatory snow tires, or at least winter rating, which means in all weather tire, which is for all 4 seasons. That would cover it, but is it still ideal? It's not ideal. I'd love to see it happen, but I don't think our government will mandate that. They're too busy doing dumb stuff. Okay. Please like and share if you've got people you think should hear about this live. Well, you should share it with them so they find out about it, because that's how this works. Word of mouth, reference. Can you put? Oh, okay. Here we go. What is Adam Snow? Smurf GT Oh, I started talking about radar detectors and never actually talked about them. Okay. So radar detectors, are they legal in the province of Ontario? No, they're not. I don't think they should be legal anywhere. I think they're a silly, silly tool. What they do is they give people a warning that police are up ahead, so they stop doing the bonehead driving that they're doing when they are breaking the law. They reduce their speeds to avoid being caught, and then as soon as they're past the police officer, they hit the gas again. So what are we doing? What is a radar detector doing? It's giving momentary change of behavior, but not something that changes behavior as a whole. Temporary thing. That doesn't do enough for me. See, I need to change behavior all the time. You got to think that everyone's watching you all the time, not a police state. Just a situation like if you know there's an automated enforcement camera, you slow down in that stretch. But what if every road had an enforcement camera? Well, then all roads would make you slow down, wouldn't it? At least for the smart people. So that's I hate that we need to put enforcement everywhere to make people follow the law, but I think that's the way to get people to follow the law. And by following the law, make it safer for everybody. So places like BC, I believe they're legal there. I don't know why, but they are. Again, silly. Here, what we would do is we would charge you the $170 fine. We would seize the device. We, by the way, have search and seizure authority under the Highway Traffic Act, which means if we believe you have it, tear apart your car looking for it. So most people who realize that, and we explain it to them, they just go, "Here you go. That's my $500 radar detector. That's going to be seized as part of evidence and then destroyed later." You can't even buy, sell, transport for a company to transport in the province of Ontario a radar detector. It must be sealed in its original packaging as part of a shipment to a consignee via a trucking company or a shipping company. So you can't just buy one and say, "I'm going to deliver it outside of the province because I'm a really nice guy who wants to get one for my cousin in Alberta." No, it has to be shipped out of the, because Bell makes them in Ontario, which drives me crazy. So many things piss me off. What can I say? Do you think we need more or less roadway signs? That's Rob Toti who wants to know. And I don't know. I mean, if people don't understand the message without the signs, then more signs are required. If they get the message, then they don't need more signs. Anyway, that's a thing. Take the radar, no points, and ticket. That's what Smurf says. No, where does it take? They take the radar device, you get points and tickets. 2 demerit points for a radar. Why am I itchy here? Okay. What do I got here? Eddie says, out east has the best manners, best road manners. Maybe. I don't know. I have no reference. Smurf GT in reference to the original motorcycle video says motorcycles have plates in the back only, so you can't tell from front. True, but they had no headlight, which means it wasn't plated, at least not with a road plate. Underscore says, why former? You retire? Yeah, I left policing at the end of August and did just under 25 years of magic with the Toronto Police Service. I had fun every day. I would have stayed for another 10 years if it wasn't for the fact that my family needed me at home. Bernhard wants to know if police services still have radar detectors. So we primarily use laser for most things, unless you're with traffic services. We then use moving radar, and the whole thing with the radar detector is you don't need it. I mean, there are error codes that come up if it's using a jammer or things like that, but really it's social engineering. We can see when we hit the button and you hit the brakes, we know you're using a device that just alerted you to the fact that we're there. It's simple. Smurf GT says radar detectors don't even work because they use LiDAR now. And trust me, it doesn't work in Ontario, no point. You're right. Actually, you're very right, Smurf. The deal is that radar detectors only work with radar bands, and we do have moving radar, so that would alert you. But you know what? Half of the vehicles are running radar units built into them, not radar detectors, but radar units to have sensors and autonomous vehicles. So your device is going to be going off all the time, giving you false detection warnings. Why are cars permitted to have front and rear plates, but motorcycles aren't? That's Honda Migs. Permitted to have front? No, they're required by law to have front and rear, while motorcycles aren't. I mean, that's just because that's the way they wrote the law. I can't tell you the logic. I mean, maybe they think there's no way to see it, so there's no place to put it. I don't know. It's a small vehicle, not a lot of room. And Endless Talk says, if I'm disabled and get a car modified, I get in. What is this? I'm disabled. If I'm disabled, get a modified car. Can I get in trouble if I drive a normal car? What fine? Depends on how the modification is. Like if you are unable to function or utilize the controls of a vehicle, then you're carelessly driving because you're not that device isn't configured for you to safely operate it. It depends on what the mods are. I'm just extrapolating, and like if you can't reach the pedals, you need hand controls, but now you're going to use a stick to hit the pedals. I don't know what kind of modifications you have. I would say that that's pretty unsafe to drive with a stick when you have a properly geared. Like they have some fantastic tech to make it possible for people to drive. I think you're stuck with the vehicle that's modified for you for safety purposes. Zone 2 all day says, or that you were corrupt and got multiple citations. What? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, but I do know that FM Promotions just joined, and FM Promotions made me this amazing jacket. So voiceover cop here. Here we've got my logo, which is this logo, and on my arm I've got a scatter code, a QR code, and I wore this at the auto show. I made this specifically for the auto show so people could come by and scan my arm and find links to all my social media. But I loved the logo, and they made it so magically for me. And did it was not that I'm not promising fast turnarounds for every job, but they really did hook me up, and I appreciate them. Thank you so much to my peeps at FM Promotions. They're awesome. I've known them since 1999. And was it 19? I think 1999 is when we first met. And I've been producing stuff for Toronto Police, and for every venture I'm involved with, I use them for everything because they're good people. And when you find good people who treat you well and that you like working with, you keep doing that. That's the whole customer service thing. See, when people provide amazing customer service, you go back. Unlike the McDonald's situation I've been dealing with the drive-through people who park you when you're the only car there because they're too busy fudging numbers in their drive-through, that's garbage. So McDonald's, not McDonald's as a corporation, but McDonald's stores that park people unnecessarily to play with their numbers, bad customer service. FM Promotions doing awesome, going above and beyond for their clientele. They're awesome. Just saying. So if you need embroidery or silk screening, go talk to those fine folks. Okay. They're on Instagram, by the way. You don't have a TikTok, do you? You need a TikTok. I don't know. Everyone needs a TikTok. I saw my friends at TikTok yesterday for a conversation on stuff and things. Another amazing organization. TikTok is currently, in battle. They're in court dealing with the fact that the Canadian government wants to shut down their Canadian offices, which is ridiculous. They just want to, I think the number was in the article I read yesterday, because I read an article that popped up on my LinkedIn, and I happened to be meeting up with them anyway. But I think it said they spent $1.6 billion over 5 years in the economy. Like they injected through employee wages $1.6 billion. That's insane and amazing at the same time. And we're going to shut that down because why? Well, no one will tell you, because anyway, current government, I'm not fans. Okay. Let's see here. In Australia, vehicle modifications come as conditions on your license. Is this the case in Canada? Now I understand what Endless Talks is talking about. So I am not aware of a condition for modifications. So the only thing when I was doing research was that if you are requiring modifications, that you seek, there's certain hospitals that provide courses or instruct you on how to use those mods, because driving with them is different. But I'm not aware of any law that requires you to have them. When I start talking about the careless driving or unsafe driving, is because as a police officer, if during the conversation with you, you out yourself, or I determine that you can't possibly safely operate that motor vehicle, then it would be careless for you to operate one that's not modified for you, and it would be part of the investigation. The goal is not to go and get you. The goal is to determine why a collision occurred, and stop unsafe operation. So it all depends. Everything depends. Okay. Canada First says Trudeau's trying to shut down TikTok while simultaneously going on TikTok videos. I can't believe I'm about to defend Sockboy, but yeah, he was on a channel that ended up posting his stuff on TikTok, which I thought was ridiculous, and I posted a video making fun of him for that. But I don't think he's on TikTok intentionally. I don't like him, but I don't think he's in TikTok intentionally. Who is the NDP guy? Whatever his name is, he is back on TikTok. He's the only one that I'm aware of. Yeah. I think they should all be on TikTok because TikTok is the best place to be if you want to talk to people. Just saying. Honda Migs wants to know if there's currently any exhaust decibel laws in Ontario. There are. So first of all, there's unnecessary noise, which is anything that you are creating that's unnecessary. No decibel limit required. Now, in the city of Toronto, that is going to be based on 92 decibels at idle, 96 decibels at anything above idle. That's a $500 fine. So yeah, it depends. It depends. Smarty Marty says, "Holy beard, Batman." Why don't I have that? Oh, because it's this. Holy beard, Batman. That was too loud. Sorry. Okay. I had it in voice changer mode. I have all these pages of different functions. Anyway. Araf sees all says, "Met you at the auto show last weekend. Great meeting you. It was great meeting you too. I can't tell who you are from your picture at the moment, but I met so many great people and all of them were amazing. I'm sure you were awesome too. But thanks for reaching out and letting me know. If we took pictures together, tag me on Instagram. A lot of people have taken pictures. Many of them have tagged me, but I want to see them all. I want to see all the photos. Thin White Line Interceptor has a question. When the power is out and the traffic lights aren't functioning, is it to be treated as a four-way stop? Yes. If it's flashing on emergency power, or if it is not flashing, it is just out, you treat those intersections as four-way stops. The problem is people don't understand this, and you have to be more cautious because of that, because if no one knows what they're doing, chances are they're just driving through. Even when it's flashing, red in all directions, that is where people, because they're impatient, the main road wants to keep going, so 3, 4, 5 cars try and scoot through. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Yeah. I was going to use bad words, but no bad words here. Let's have a look at another video. So what other video can I share with you? Did the school bus, did the motorcycle. Here's a pedestrian one. What do you think of this? Everyone's walking through traffic. I'm not, although I'm pointing out specifically something that I'm curious if you'll pick up on when it comes to this lady just trying to get across the road. She's not, the traffic was not moving at all because of the magic of construction. There was a paid duty officer. It was just a mess. They were making the construction crew was making like a little thing. This is Weston Road and Finch, right by where my old courthouse used to be at 2201 Finch. Anyway, what's the point of the story? It's less of an issue that she walked in front of my truck. The issue that I have is the fact that she walked in front of the purple one. If that truck inched up, they would have unalived her and they would have never even known about it because that truck has no visibility. For 10, if not 20 feet in front of that vehicle, it's an invisible zone. They can't see nothing. And that's the issue. They would have just been a speed bump. So if you're going to do stuff and things, be careful. Be careful. Boy, Mom 8424, how you doing? We got just a couple of people. I see Jeff and Terry and Danny Boy. Lots of people in here listening to me talk about stuff and things, and I appreciate you. Okay. Boy, Mom says, "Morning, Sean. Morning back at you." What's our time like? 11:03. Okay, we're gonna do dad jokes. If you got dad jokes, now's your time to throw them in there. We'll read them out at the end. I accidentally read one earlier. It was funny. I'll read it again. Let's see what else I got for video. Oh, this one is my favorite, and I think it's the last one. I think we covered all of them. So you got a left turn lane. It's kind of backed up through traffic. Whoop. And people go, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? But that's the big deal. Like, just, yeah. I mean, other than the fact that it's just a dick move, um, it's a risky one and an unlawful one. So, drives me bananas. Honda Mig says, where can you send me dash cam footage? You can send me either a link to it or you can send me the actual file as long as it'll fit into an attachment on Gmail. You can get me at voiceovercop@gmail. Yeah. I thought that one was an amazing video. Like I drive around and that's just me over a week. Like these are not like a year's worth of issues. I see something every day. I'm recording stuff every single day. And that just me like people talk about quotas for police officers as though we have to make things up in order to write a ticket and get our job done. No. There is so much going on that you can't help but trip over people doing dumb stuff like that need to be pulled over and educated as to what's right, what's wrong, and then give a little note that says you owe $400 or whatever it is, depending on the offense, to remind you not to do it again. If you don't hit people in their wallet, they tend not to remember that they did something wrong at all. Yeah, mildly disappointed in many drivers. Can't decide if I like being in the middle of the screen or being on the right side because now the microphone is this weird disappearing. Anyway, what we got here? Let me see. I haven't missed anybody for anything, and then we're going to jump into dad jokes, and then we'll continue with saying goodbye until tomorrow or Friday, I should say. All right, dad jokes going once. Going twice. All right. Chase's dad joke. My wife just opened my car door for me. Would have been a nice gesture had she not been going 70 miles per hour. I guess the pushing with one foot getting you out the door. Yeah, that's dangerous. Don't upset your ladies. I don't trust stairs. They're always up to something. What about down? Sometimes they're down. Yeah. What did I do with the other joke? I said I put it. Here we go. This is where it was dad jokes. See, I read DJ because I didn't pick up on what they were putting down. Next Monday is Diarrhea Awareness Week. Runs till Friday. I like that. That's a good. Poop jokes are always funny. I have to start bringing my own. All right. With that, we have another version of. Here's what we do. No, wrong one. I was going to say I have I've got to bring back the traffic song. I haven't played it in a while. Can I find it easily? Let's see. My library, my songs. Let's see if I can find it for you. The traffic song was written by a member of the Toronto Police Service that worked with me at Traffic Services, and then I fed the lyrics into Suno, and it made the best hard rock version. And I see if I can find it here right now. I'm going to play it. Is it going to say rock traffic song? Come on. I didn't do the best job of labeling this one. Traffic flow, traffic jam, traffic troubles. Come on. Yeah, I'm not going to find this. I want to find the right one, but I'm not going to find it. All right, I'll have it set up for Friday. Friday will be a song day. Come on, I was really hoping. Well, maybe I have it here on here. Let's try this one last try. Traffic. No. Traffic song. My library. Come on. Oh, here, I found it. Aha. We play the first one. Here's the original. I say that now and it's not going. Am I still connected? Let's find out. Boy, the silence is deafening. Sorry. Where is it? It says connected. Oh well. Technology not helping me today. Maybe it's not downloading properly. I don't know. I can't explain it. Worked before, ain't working now. And with that, we'll say goodbye. I'll just press this button because I know it works. I'll load some stuff up so it works tomorrow. Have a safe day. Have a fun day. Smile, because it's good to do that. It's really healthy. Smiling makes you feel good. Makes other people feel good too. So with that, drive safe, drive sober, park legally, and we'll see you on Friday. Boy, that was a really slow. Don't do tech support while on a live stream. It's bad. Maybe this has got it. Still can't figure out why it's not working. Still not working.